What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm super excited to talk about today's video because I'm going to show you and tell you 10 things that I wish I would have known when I first started selling on Amazon, okay? So if you guys are a beginner, if you are just looking into selling on Amazon, this is perfect for you, and I hope you guys stay through the entire video because I'm going to show you how you guys are going to save money and different things that you guys need to look for and watch out for before you start selling and immerse yourself in the Amazon FBA business, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into the first one, and that is I wish I would have known about Amazon FBA, and if I would have known about it, I wish I would have just started immediately. So if you guys are watching this video, obviously you have a brief introduction of what Amazon FBA is, and if you don't, click on this channel. I have a bunch of videos that explain it. And that's my biggest advice, is get started. And that's what I wish I would have known, is as soon as I did find about Amazon FBA, I wish I would have just jumped on it and got started immediately. So that's the first thing that I wish I would have done, and I wish I would have known. So the number 2 is product research tools. So a lot of times we think we know everything. We don't want to spend money in our business, but product research is by far the most important thing that you can do for your Amazon FBA business, and that is going to depend your success. So if you cannot find a good product, then you are not going to be successful. It is that simple. And so I would highly recommend to get product research tools. And if you don't know what they are, I'm going to include a link in the description below that is going to show you every product research tool that you guys need to be successful, okay? So that leads into number 3, which is product requirements. There are a lot of different requirements that we need to understand before we start selling. And if you don't understand these product requirements, you are going to struggle and have a lot of problems, and they're not going to fit Amazon's guidelines and policies and procedures, okay? So please understand the product requirements and meet all the specifications that Amazon requires. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay, because I have you covered in this channel. So go down and hit the subscribe button. So that is number 3. And it goes into number 4, which is understanding gated categories. So there are certain categories that we can and cannot sell in. The categories that we can't sell in, you have to get special approval, and if you try to sell in these categories, you might get shut down and your listing won't go live and it won't be active. And so basically you ordered all of this product, you have 200, 300 units, and then you get it and you try to list it, but then it's a gated category, so you just lost a couple $1,000 because you didn't know that that category was gated. So that is something you guys need to be very careful with, is understanding the gated and ungated categories. So now you guys are probably thinking that this is a ton of information and it's just kind of going over your head and I'm shooting you guys in the face with a fire hose, but it's super simple once you guys break it down. There's tons of content on YouTube, and on my channel I show basically everything that I'm going over. Each bullet point, I have a video that goes in depth of it, but this is just something that you guys need to be aware of so that you guys know what you guys are getting into before you actually get started. So please understand that. So along with the product requirements, there's 2 other things. So number 5 is warning labels. So when you are sending your package into Amazon, you have to have certain labels on the products. And if you are sending a plastic bag or your packaging is what's called a poly bag, you need to have warning labels on that bag if the opening is bigger than 5 inches. And why that is because it's a choking hazard, and Amazon obviously doesn't want to get sued, and you don't want to either. And so that is something that I was completely clueless of, that you need warning labels if you are going to be using a poly bag as your packaging, okay? So have that in mind, warning labels. So that's number 5. And then the next thing, number 6, is UPC barcodes. So this is another barcode that you have to have on the outside of the packaging so that Amazon basically can go in, scan it with their little scanner. So at the grocery store, when they're scanning your products, that's what they're doing. They're scanning the UPC code, and you need to have one of those on each of the products. Now that's super easy to get, and I recommend Barcodes Mania. There's instantupccodes.com. There's a bunch of different places where you can get these UPC codes for very cheap. And so that's one thing that I didn't know of. And so I had no clue, and I paid $250 at the gs1.org website. And yes, you can do that and it works great, but there's other websites that you guys can get these UPC codes for fairly cheap that work perfectly and that are still compliant with Amazon's policies and procedures. Okay, so that is number 6, understanding UPC barcodes. So number 7 is kind of ties in with product research tools, but the tools don't do you any good unless you know what to look for in a product. So that is number 7. What are you guys looking for in a product, and how are you guys going to know whether it's profitable, whether it's going to sell well, how much competition there is? So there's a bunch of different criteria to look for in a product. We want it to be high demand but with low competition. We want not a lot of reviews, and we want people still looking for that product. So we want high search keywords volume, but we don't want a lot of people selling the same product. So that is something very important, and that I actually have a video that goes over that, but you guys need to understand what you guys are actually looking to sell. You can't just think of random things and say, oh, this is going to sell well because it's a trend or because everyone loves it. That doesn't work. So please understand what you guys need to look for before you start just selling random products. Okay, so that is number 7. Number 8 is something huge, and that is understanding how to effectively use an email autoresponder, either with JumpSend or Amazon mailers. So these are softwares that you guys are going to purchase. They're like $20-$30 a month, and what it does is every time you guys get a purchase, these softwares are going to send automated emails to the customer, basically providing good customer support. And it's going to do 2 things for you. First, it's going to help you avoid negative seller feedback. So if there's any problems, the customer is going to reach out to you because you reached out to them instead of going to Amazon and leaving a bad review. And number 2, it's going to help you get organic reviews. So if you guys didn't know this, getting reviews on Amazon is one of the most important things to ranking and sustaining your product rank. And if you have more reviews, you have the credibility, and more people are going to buy your product. So that is a very important step, is understanding how to use email autoresponders. And I didn't even know what that was when I first started selling until 3 months into selling my products. And I was like, what can I do next to take it to the next level? And that was what I needed to do, was email autoresponders. And literally within a week, I got 20 plus reviews, and I was mind blown. So it's something super easy, nothing complicated about it, but you just need to know what to do with it and how to use it effectively. Okay, so that is number 8. Number 9 is PPC campaigns. So this is something that can it's not complicated, but something that takes some time understanding, and you actually have to understand how marketing works. So you need to understand cost of acquisition, you need to do some split testing, and this might sound completely foreign to you, but all that means is you need to basically test the different ads, see which ones work, which keywords are performing well, and then you need to be constantly adjusting it. And that's what I did not do at the very beginning, is I just put it on automatic and I thought everything would be perfect because Amazon is so big and they know better than me. So I just put the trust in them, and I ran these campaigns for weeks on weeks, and I was wondering why my acquisition cost was 80% to over 100%. And what that means basically is to acquire one customer, it cost me more in advertising than what they were actually purchasing the product for. So that's where we want to drop that acquisition cost as low as possible, because then we get a bigger return on our investment. So that's something we need to be very careful of, is understanding PPC campaigns, how we can adjust and tweak them and make sure that they are profitable and that we are getting good returns on our money. And so that leads into the last one, which is number 10, and that is optimizing your listing. If you don't have a good optimized listing, it's going to be very difficult to have a good performing PPC campaign. So there's a lot of things that go into optimizing your listing with product pictures. So making sure that you have different product pictures than someone else. You're not copywriting them, and you're not that it's high quality, and you're not just literally copying from Alibaba and using that as your product listing. You want to set yourself apart from the other sellers. And a good way to do that is taking your own professional pictures and using all 9 pictures that they let you use. So you have a cover photo, and then you have 8 other pictures that you guys can use. Okay, so that is very important with the product pictures. And then you have the key features, so the 5 bullet points, and then you have the description and basically explaining what your product does. So that is a very good time to take advantage of what your product is, why it's better than someone else's, and how you can basically destroy your competition. So that is very important, is optimizing your listing and fine-tuning it to make it the best listing out there. Okay, so that is very important. And if that went over your head, I have everything that you guys need to know within my YouTube channel. I also even have a course, and my course is $99. I'm not trying to make money off of you. I'm trying to give you guys an opportunity to literally change your life with Amazon FBA like it did mine. I was working 70 hours a week, and I hated my job. I was actually working construction, and I was pounding concrete, picking up cabinets, tile. It was not fun. Okay, and then I was introduced into Amazon FBA, and within 3 months, I was able to quit my job and do Amazon FBA full time. So if you guys have interest in changing your life and making a difference, then subscribe, follow my videos, go follow someone else's video. And then at the same time, I have a course that is going to explain to you guys everything that you need to know to be successful. Okay, so yes, you can teach yourself. That's completely fine, and that's why I have a YouTube channel, is to provide value and bring content to you, because I understand that you guys have a budget and you guys come from different backgrounds, and that's completely understandable. And for that reason, I'm trying to I made a course that is all-in-one, that literally takes you from 0 to as much as 6 figures a year for $99. Okay, so that is a very low price course, and I know that it's going to help you. And if you don't take it, I'm not going to be offended, but I will be offended if you don't hit the subscribe button and like this video and leave a comment. Okay, so please take advantage of these 10 things that I told you. Go do the research, and I'm going to include all the 10 things in the description below as well, so you guys can have a mental note of what you guys need to do and make sure that you guys implement when you start selling. So mucho animo. I hope you guys just take this information and run with it. Get excited, because Amazon FBA is going to change your guys' lives. So stay tuned for the next video, because I'm dropping weekly videos of how to grow your Amazon FBA business. So thanks again for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.